Lorinkrenn popped off again. Take a minute and pause this and read this quote. When I tell you this man has such an ability to deconstruct the healing process, mainly the man's journey to healing, I am telling you, he is a thought leader of our time. And if you have a man that you love in your life that is important to you, make sure he goes over and follows Lorinkrenn, both on this app and on other platforms. But the second stage of your healing is going to be protecting your energy, because the first stage is tending to the small parts of yourself that were hurt and where needs were not met, and that is now dictating choices you make as an adult. Many times these little wounded parts of us are the ones running the show and making choices. And so once we start to recognize our patterns of wounding, where we're letting those small parts of ourselves that are looking to fill a need that was never met, once we realize that they're running the show and making a lot of the decisions, we can tend to those small parts and we can give them the things that the caregivers in our lives were not able to give them. We can give those small parts of ourselves what they need. Search internal family systems, as well as a myriad of other resources on how to heal the inner child. But this is the healing work. And it is not excruciating work. It's actually very therapeutic and peaceful to go through this healing process, because you're finally giving the small parts of yourself the love that they've been craving for decades. But then the second phase is looking around and recognizing the ways that those small little wounded parts of us have chosen the loved ones and the relationships in our lives. And we will often see a congruent pattern of choosing. In my case, I chose people where I had to hustle for my worth. I chose people that made me hustle for love and qualify for love. They didn't show up for me in the ways that I showed up for them. I would give and give and give. And many times I attracted people who would take and take and take. And as I continued to let these wounded parts of me make choices into my middle age, I started to see how in the most important relationships of my life, the love relationships, the partners that I chose, I was not only allowing them to take and to not give me what I was giving them, but I was allowing manipulators. I was allowing people that would take these good qualities that I had and use them against me. They would exploit those good, tender, innocent qualities for their own gain. And I started to attract narcissists, people that literally were energy vampires and sucked that life force energy from me until I was depleted, absolutely dry, down and out, and had to finally tend to those parts of myself and heal them. And then the second phase was looking around and recognizing the energy vampires that I had allowed into my life. Don't be surprised if you realize that the majority of people in your life reflect this pattern. And then now is the hard part, because now you have to let the trash take itself out. In many cases, as you start to assert boundaries for yourself and you start to guard your self concept, you start to have more self-respect, these people will remove themselves from your life already. But if they haven't taken themselves out, sometimes you have to be overt and protect your energy and guard your energy and not allow energy sucking vampires and people that were part of your old pattern into your sphere any longer. And sometimes that takes being alone. Sometimes that takes reducing your tribe down to a very small, secure, clear, and strong number. But it's going to be much less than you've been used to, and you're going to experience a lot of loss. And this is really, really hard. But just know this is part of the healing process. And it is a process that we will have to undertake for the rest of our lives. We have to keep our energy protected, and we have to say no to people that would fall in these old patterns of destructive, hurtful, and depleting energy.